just contradicted your own criteria.
Did you hear anything I read?
Yeah, I did.
It means
Okay, so do
You're not. What I'm saying, Amir, when you
addressed
when you quote from scholars, when you quote from Christian scholars to me, man, you're wasting your time. Okay,
I bet I am. Because you go on blind
you are because if I start rattling off some claims made by Islamic scholars about the Quran, you're not gonna accept it. So what I'm saying, Amir, is your criterion was the closer a document is to
I don't need the scholars
to the
right. I'm just telling
to the events or the claims that are made, the more reliable it is.
Yep.
So that means that anything that the New Testament says about Jesus is far more reliable than anything the Quran says, based off of your own criteria.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Okay, Muhammad was born in 570
Hold up.
AD.
All right. Malaki, he quoted a verse from the Quran. He was stating that the Quran was like supporting the Bible. It was actually the answer for that was the verse before it. So he quoted the chapter, I think, I believe, because I'm driving right now. The Surah 5, the verse 44. If you read the verse 43, you will get the answer. That these people are disbelievers. But he was teaching Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you know that the cause of revelation for this verse, you would automatically know why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was teaching Muhammad about, the teaching of Jesus by the time. But he gave him the answer. How was these people, did to the Bible after Jesus? But, still he's telling him this is and this and that. And that's the verse that you quote. But if you go back and you read it, and I really wanted to read it in front of everybody, you will get the right answer. I'm not going to go further than that to give you more verses from the Quran. But if you want, I can literally give you more.
That's because you can, because Surah Al-Ma'idah, Ayah 44 says that your Allah entrusted the protection of the Torah.
Go to verse 43. Read the verse 43.
No, I'm going to show you how, if you go to verse 43, it's still not going to help him, because it says, but why do they come to you, speaking of Muhammad, for judgment when they have the Torah, in which is God's law, yet they turn away after that? These are not believers. So now the text in verse 43, which he told me to go to, Allah is saying to Muhammad, why do they come to you when they have the Torah, in which is God's law? But I thought the Torah was corrupted. Now remember, this is the first half of the 7th century AD. But I thought the Torah was corrupted. So this didn't help you at all. Then it says in verse 44, we have revealed the Torah, wherein is guidance and light. The submissive prophets ruled the Jews according to it. So did the rabbis and the scholars, as they were required to protect God's book. It's a bad translation. It says that they were entrusted to the protection of the Torah. Now, here's another problem that you have. When you say rabbis, so let's say Allah chose the rabbis as the ones to protect the Torah. Well, the rabbis come from the Pharisees. And the earliest codification that we have of anything that the rabbis have is the Mishnah, circa 200 AD, 170 years after the time of Christ. So the New Testament was already written in the 1st century. So the Torah was completed 450 years before the time of Jesus. But here it's stating in verse 43 that there's no need for them to come to you, Muhammad, for judgment, because they have the Torah, in which is God's law. Then in 44, he says he entrusted the protection of that Torah to the rabbis, which would have been to your Talmudic rabbis. So I'm trying to figure out, when did this Torah get corrupted? Then it gets worse as we continue on, and we wrote for them in it a life for a life, an eye for an eye, a nose for a nose, an ear for an ear, a tooth for a tooth, an equal wound for a wound. But whoever forgoes it in charity, it will serve as atonement for him. That's false. Those who do not rule according to what God revealed are the evildoers. Then it says, in their footsteps, we sent Jesus, son of Mary. By the way, no Jewish culture ever named his son, one of its sons, after its mother. As a matter of fact, no Shemitic culture would ever do. Arabic cultures don't even do that. So nobody ever walked around calling anybody in the Middle East this Jesus, the son of Mary. Jesus, the son of Mary. It's a fictional character. Actually, that's a polemic. Yeah, the very name Jesus, son of Mary, is a Islamic polemic. It's an argument against Jesus being the Son of God. That's all it is. So remember, he was given the gospel. Then the next verse it says, so let the people of the gospel. Now remember, this is in the Arabic, this is an imperative. So Muhammad is supposed to tell the people of the gospel to judge by the gospel. But I thought the gospel was corrupted. I thought the gospel that was given to Isa ibn Maryam all of a sudden disappeared. So how can we judge from something that's not there or is corrupted? That would be an unjust God. Those who do not rule according to what God revealed are the sinners. So now it's saying that if I don't judge by the gospel, then actually the literal says we're worse than unbelievers. And it's going to get worse. Surah 5, Surah Al-Ma'idah, is not a chapter that a Muslim should ever use in arguing against a Christian. Because all it does is it benefits us. It doesn't benefit you. So you told us to go to verse 43 as if we took something out of context, and that hurt you. Because it's saying to Muhammad, why are they coming to you for judgment when they have the Torah, which contains God's law? So when you say that the Torah is corrupted, you're going against what your Allah taught. And when you pick over, this buffet style interpretation that you have, which is literally a rat and roach infested interpretation of our scriptures, you're also in violation of your own scriptures. According to Al-Baqarah, Surah 85, in which your Allah indicts the Jews for believing in part of the book while rejecting the rest of it. So how is it that he would condemn Jews for doing that, but say it's okay for you to interpret his books like that? Anyway, I'll land right there.